boosting the volume. Cool. We shall get started. That's gonna be a quick one. I just want to address core dysfunctionality. Boom, we're back in. So the issue today is that the water is not rendering correctly. Whenever I split, so I've created two shaders, and one is transparent. Well, actually, it looks pretty dark in here. I might need a light. Yeah, I should get a light at some point. Anyway, so the water is not rendering correctly. That's the main pain point right now. And whenever I get two different keys in the map, then it's starting to render incorrectly. So I'm filtering out the water group. And let's see, frame descriptor set, offset, the uniform's got an offset of 0, arcs buffer. And the draw count is 162. While here we have a draw count of 81. And I wonder where this number comes from. Is it by any chance getting the wrong vertex offset? I wonder. So when I generate only one block type and I remove the water level check, so this is not going to generate anything else that is not dirt. So this is going to generate air, or if it's under the terrain level, it's going to generate dirt. But what happens? So this is going to generate only dirt blocks because air is not rendered. So it works fine. Everything looks good. But as soon as I introduce a new block type, this is going complete bonkers. So some of the water is coming in here, and lots of the ground is disappearing from this. So it is going to be, yeah, it's getting into the other type, and it keeps generating it this way. By the way, it's not only like a whole group. It's by the way, it's also rendered weirdly. This is so odd. Yeah, the winding is messed up, and what the? So there must be something wrong in here. So let's start from the beginning, and we have the update chunks function, which is going to check for each chunk in the sorted chunks. So there's no reference to the original, right? Okay, so just to be sure, there's no confusion. What is this complaining about? Expression is not used. Okay, yeah, no problem. So for each chunk, we're going to loop so we're going to loop through the meshes, and we get the type and the data itself. And the type is going to contain, is this even real? So let's go back to where this is actually made. So the block data is made in the generate, and generate what is generate doing? So generate returns chunk data, which is a vector of blocks. Okay, so this is regardless of the type. Cool. This will generate the data, the raw data, which is the volume. Then we pass it through the mesh. The mesher will return a map of for each block type of a mesh. So mesh contains indices and vertices, correct? Inside, we create a temporary vector of vertices, and this is the grid. Okay, so this is the initial grid. Then we create the return data, and the return data for each block type. So it's going to get the block index and the type. Okay, yeah, that looks good. So if it's not air, it won't generate anything. That is good. So this should give the expected result, and then we just return it. So this one looks good. Let me just quickly check mesh data. Okay, so there is no block type in the mesh data. Cool. So this should all be good. And we move that here. This looks Good enough. So back to the generation of the update with the block type. Here we generate the batches, and the batches are going to store draw information. So first check if this mesh actually contains data, and if it doesn't, contain any data, we erase the buffer. Okay, that is good. This is not going to draw anything. Cool. Batches, batch draw. Okay, everything is initialized. Vectors are empty. Okay, that's just want to make sure. So if the chunk is dirty, it means that it needs to be regenerated. Then we are allocating staging buffer for the vertices. Then we have the destination in the vertex buffer. We copy the data and we defer the copy commands. That's correct. Then we store the buffer. And that's it. So we store the buffer, which's got everything in it, the offset and stuff. And regardless of whether we updated the vertex buffer or not, we're going to batch it anyway. So it's got a transform, chunk transform. We push it into the UBO. The UBO for the batch K. Then the vertex offset. Okay, it refers back to the to this guy here. Okay, the buffer offset. Then we add it to the draw arguments. Vertex offset. So everything is compliant. Now this looks good. Chunk state. Okay, now batches. Here we are updating the buffers for each batch. So we allocate the UBO buffer, then we copy the batch UBO, add it to the copy, and we store it. Chunk state, uniform buffer is that. Cool. And then we delete the staging buffer. Okay. And the same happens for the draw arguments. So the batch draw arguments. Get the size, chunk, argument buffer is that. Delete it. We update the draw count. Everything looks good. Then we update the shader and the two shaders. So this is copying the current data into a staging buffer, and then it will copy it into the shader. Okay, write buffer, write texture, destination, the state, gets the set. What is this, 0? Oh yeah, that's the set index. Set index. Okay, wait. Set index. No, that's correct. This. Allocate a descriptor from the set index 0. That is actually correct because this is a per frame, right? Yes, the per frame buffer. And we update image and the buffer. Okay, so we have updated the per frame. That's correct. So to the render, it does a copy. Okay, the barriers. And the barriers are for the chunk state. Correct. It does all the barriers. That's so weird. Why is it not working correctly? Arguments buffer. So wait. No, we got the offset, so that's correct. So the buffer is the main buffer. Then we have the offset and the draw count. We have the offset. The vertex buffer has no offset. It just uses the main offset. State, frame descriptor, and object descriptor. So these are also pointed correctly. The shader is the correct shader to use. You got the pipeline. Bind pipeline. What else is left here? So I would say that I'm gonna first go and reduce the number of blocks being generated. Very much. And it's still very messed up. So this should make it easier to see because we're only rendering one chunk. This is only one chunk, right? It's 32. Yes, 32 by 32. Yeah. Very weird. And let's say I can pass it over to render doc. This very limited drawing. Should only do one draw. It should be the result of one draw. Oh no, there are actually two of them. Two. That should not make any difference. So the bottom part is the bottom bit so big. Yeah, it shouldn't be like this. Let's just try. Oh, that might be the edge. Okay, I see. So that might be the edge with the other blocks. And let's go back here. Let's say that for the water, we're only considering the top edge. Don't make the other edges. Okay, now it is doing something a bit more correct, but still. Still weird enough. So this is something really weird. Why there's that offset? So is the block water or what is the block? So where is the part? Where is the underwater? Like, what is that? Where are the underwater blocks? And why did the water block ended up here? Ah, how do I debug this? What can I do? There must be something very dumb. Which only happens when there are multiple types. I wonder if it's in the generation or in the blocks generation or in the this generation here. Is everything addressed correctly? So that's a key for each chunk. We're doing it for each chunk and then it updates that batch. What if I force, this is going to be a reference, a reference to the key. Is that even a thing? let's do an underscore key, and then let's see what key is block type. So let's make everything dirt. And so this generates batches of everything the same. Is that enough? Yes, because this is the one generating. Let's see if this fixes it. Otherwise, that's the problem. Lies in there. And that doesn't fix it. So it is not there. So it must be before this. And what's before this? It's whoever generates the chunks. So I'm gonna blame it too. It could be the generator or the mesher. I'm looking at the mesher, to be honest. So what if I instead force everything to go into the same block type? And dirt again. This is the real essence of trial and error. Oh, nice. That's where things are starting to break, to fall apart. So I'm gonna revert these hacks. And focus on this guy. So by putting blocks in different map, so that's the map, it creates it on the fly. And for each type, so yeah, what's the matter with that? So each type its own mesh. Data blocks index. Let's remove all this useless stuff. And I guess also this is useless because the water is only generating the top face and it's already here. and it's going to return a map. Yeah, you can do all unordered maps. Okay, we got the move semantics. That's good. Chunk mesh. Chunk mesh is gonna have vertices and indices. Vertex type requires a position. Okay. We don't need indices. We need it. We'll bring it back. Let's see if this is good enough. Oh, we broke something. What happens? Oh, this is an override. So where do you come from? Here. Okay. That should satisfy the overriding rules. Okay. Now this isn't gonna make any difference, right? We're still throwing everything into the same block type. And the block type is, so the index is the one that we are looking into. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's the one we're looking into, and then we throw everything into there. Oh, wait, what happened? Oh, what the? Did that really fix it? Nah, that can't be. What did I even do? What did I do that fixed it all of a sudden? Did I remove some code? So I removed something from here, which isn't going to do anything. Face. Is it just because they are an order map? Let's go back here and re-enable the drawing of the water. If that's it, that's gonna be so dumb. Wait, where's the water? Why is it not rendering it? What else did I do? I'm starting to lose track. So did I enforce anything else? This is reverted. Are you? Oh, am I generating the water? Yeah, it is generating the water. Where is it? Where did the water go? What is happening to the water? What did I do? lost the water. I don't know, let's go around. Yeah, there's no more water. Let's make more. 4. What's 4? Uh, no, that's not how it's supposed to work. What is this? No, that doesn't fix it. That just made it worse. What? That is even changing stuff. Ah, it was still generating, okay. What? Because I'm going down? Is that it? No. Oh my gosh. That made it worse. What did I even change? This, so maybe I can get notifications. Oh, finally. Chunk mesh. This is going to generate one thing. Didn't change much. Okay, all the shader stuff, it's fine. Yeah, move this stuff on the shader. Oh yeah, this new shader module. Oh, I don't know. Scripter set, buffers, draw count, chunk state. Now, chunk state is just a struct. Wait, chunk state, descriptor. Oh yeah, chunk state changed into a map. Yes. This is hard to debug. So let's go back to a single chunk and maybe make it smaller. 8 by 8. What? What's that? Oh, terrible. So there should be water in there, I guess. Which isn't. It looks like the Empire State Building. So water draw count 1. Okay, so you have something to draw. But why is it not drawing anything? Arguments buffer size. Why is it only 16? That's small. All right, let's go back to the generation at this point. So when we move, we should end up here at some point. Keep going. Yeah, resume. And we're gonna move on the side. So we have a block of data, which has got 512, which should be 8 cube. Yes, 512 blocks. And let's give this a quick look. Okay, it's mostly air. Air and dirt. It really is air and dirt. Oh, here's the water. Okay, we got some water. Toward the bottom, we got plenty of water actually. Yes, lots of water. Which is easily going to fill out the whole layer. So let's go in the meshing function. This will generate the vertices. And the vertices, well, they can't be empty, can they? 729, okay, that's fine. Let's stop at the first water. And up to this point, we should have the first water vertices. No, that's dirt. Okay. And the vertices, that is 0. That's correct. Okay, we're starting to put some vertices into the water block. 6. Okay, that's reasonable. And let's jump out of this function. We have 2 things. Okay, that's dirt. And then we have vertices for the water. Looks good so far, so good. Oh, hello. Have you heard ChatGPT? Yeah, I use it sometimes, but this is not something that it can fix. It can't fix my own mistakes because they are undocumented. So it's fine. So up to this point, we are very fine. Oh, by the way, I'm running out of time. Gotta start working at some point. With ChatGPT, well, I'm finding out that Gemini is a bit more useful than ChatGPT. So the ambisonic rendering function that ChatGPT wrote for me, that was completely broken, but Gemini made it work. So prizes to my Gemini brother. Oh wait, chunks. Indices subset. What is this? Now that has nothing to do. Look, we are getting the right data. There's water. Which version of Gemini? I don't know. I think it was using the Pro version till I run out of free tokens. 2.5. What is the latest version? 2.5 Pro. But I usually use 2.5 Flash. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm a sinner. I used all of them. I I don't believe in what we should call a term. I believe in poly-LLME, poly-LLMia, poly-LLMia. Is that a thing? Poly-LLMio. Chunks, index chunks. Why are you not working? Polyunsaturated fat. I would say polyunsaturated slop. Oh, I'm a slop. chunk inherits data. So this is also fine. I really can't blame on this function. Locks the mutex, copy the data. And this is good to go. So I'm gonna blame it on this guy here. Run over to this part of the code. And we should have a dirty chunk. So this is a chunk. It's got a mesh with 2 types and the dirt and 300 vertices for the water. That also looks good. So there is definitely something wrong with the offsets. Yeah, I think the origin of the data is correct, but the offsets are being set wrong. "64 alignment, but this, how big is this? This is just 32. Not good. Ew. "32. What if I put the 64? Is this 64 gonna be too big? No, it's not that bad. Still rendering wrong. It's hell of slow. Oh, I'm reaching the clipping point already. It is hella slow. So the generation is fine. Problem with the indexing. I'm pretty sure it's the indexing. All right. Didn't fix it today either. Time's up. See you soon, everybody. Bye bye.